You may hear the terms nutrient density and calorie density get thrown out there, but what exactly do they mean, and how do you apply them to have a healthy, balanced diet? In today's video, we're going to talk about exactly that. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. My name is Katie. I'm a dietitian and personal trainer, and I love when you ask me questions about nutrition, mindful eating, and fitness. So definitely let me know in the comment section below what you'd like to see me film in the future. I am here to answer your questions and help you have a healthier diet without restriction or deprivation. So without further ado, let's talk about calorie density versus nutritional density and how you can use this knowledge to apply it to your diet. Now, first let's start with nutrient density. In essence, nutrient density is how much nutritional value do you get from something from the amount of grams or weight that you're measuring. So that's like a bunch of nutrition jargon, but essentially it's how packed with nutrients is that item. So something like a donut, for example, may be packed with a decent amount of calories, but not a whole lot of nutritional value, meaning vitamins and minerals. But for example, strawberries could be high in nutrient density because for the calories in 1 cup, it is packed with nutrients. Vitamin C, potassium, folate, manganese. It has tons of things to offer for the small amount of portion and calories that it has. So nutritional density, the amount of nutrition per calories. So calorie density, on the other hand, is the measure of calories per grams of food or per whatever weight measurement given. So as a tangible example, strawberries would also be lower calorie density because you can have a larger portion, but there is a small amount of calories in that portion. But for example, something like nut butters or a pastry or an avocado, it has a high calorie density, meaning like you have a small portion and you still get a decent amount of calories. Something like cheesecake, one of my favorite desserts, is higher in calorie density because you have a small portion for a higher amount of calories. Now I'm throwing out these terms, the calories, and I feel it in my gut that I'm almost feeling a little bit like, ugh, I hate that word. But calories are actually a very neutral term. Calories are just the measurement of energy that a food provides for you. In the diet world, I think we've used calories in such a negative light that thinking about calories in any way, shape, or form can kind of be a little bit triggering, and that's not your fault at all. But I just want to point out that when we talk about calories in this sense, in this video right here, we are trying to be as neutral as possible about it. It's not good or bad. It's just a measurement of energy that your body gets from eating it. Now here's why I think it's important to know the difference between the two and just how to use them in general. Of course, for a healthy and balanced diet, we want to focus on those nutrient-dense foods. So foods that pack a lot of nutritional density for what they are. So that would mean stuff like whole grains, lean proteins, fruits, veggies, legumes, the whole 9 yards, what you typically hear a healthy diet recommended as. Now for calorie density, I think it's totally up to you how much or little you want to use this. I don't necessarily use this a ton in my work with clients or in my Mindful Muscles Academy course, which you can find in the description below. But I do think it is valuable to kind of just know a little bit about what it means. So how I might use it with my clients is if I have a client who is not necessarily feeling that great, but they still need to get adequate energy in while they're feeling ill. I would recommend something that's higher in calorie density, like a nutrition shake, to have as a supplement to their day so they're not eating nothing. And then I would maybe explain that to them like, hey, this is packed with nutrients. It's also packed with calories. So you don't have to shovel down a bunch of food when you're not feeling that well. So here's this calorie-dense food. I hopefully wouldn't say it like that, but I am awkward, so I might. That's just one example of how you can utilize calorie density in your own diet. You also might use calorie density when you're trying to gain muscle. So you're trying to have that calorie surplus. So you want to have both the nutritious foods, but you also want to have calorie-dense foods because you cannot gain muscle without a calorie surplus. So Example number 2. And another way that you can apply this to your own diet is if you feel you are meeting your calorie goals, but you're just not feeling satisfied with what you're eating, adding in foods that are lower in calorie density, like say, if you're having a pizza, adding a salad, or if you're having a turkey wrap, having an apple with it. Adding in those low calorie dense foods can be a way to kind of round off your diet and make sure that you're eating enough quantity of food to actually feel full and satisfied. So that's just another example of how to use it in the lower calorie density foods. But here's the thing, with any type of food rule, I don't want you to feel like you have to always have the perfect balance with it. I like to use it when, maybe I feel like something in my diet is off or I'm not feeling the best energy-wise. Using this knowledge, I can say, okay, what can I do to change this or that in my day so I can feel more energy? What can I add into my diet? So rather than look at it from a, what should I take away, or I shouldn't have high calorie dense foods, what can you add to your diet to make it more balanced and to help you have more energy? Another important thing that I want you to note is that just because something is high in calorie density does not mean it is low in nutrient density. So it doesn't mean, if it's high in calorie density, it doesn't mean it's bad for you. For example, avocados, those are high in nutrients, but they're also high in calories per serving. Nut butters are high in calories and high in nutrients. So I see that mistake happen a lot where people think that just because it's high in calories, it means it's a bad food that they should avoid. I promise you, not the case at all. Thanks so much for joining me, and let me know in the comment section below what food questions or nutrition questions do you have for me. I'd love to answer them in a future video. And if you'd like to continue hanging out today, check out this video right here.